growing up to a woman? Like, what's holding them back from that?
Because of feminism and Me Too and all that shit. And because women will put men on blast who like maybe awkwardly approach them. You see also those gym TikTok videos where girls like work out in the gym and then there's like a guy who like glances at them for like 1 second and they fucking blast them. That's what guys are scared of. And these guys they're not even doing anything wrong. They're just like innocently, sometimes they're not even looking in their direction. So there's like this social component now where like people are terrified to get like being exposed on social media. So
a lot of this comes from social media and unrealistic standards. You're frustrated, but then reject people over small things.
What are modern women more upset about? Men being stingy with their money, not wanting to pay for dates, paying her bills, or that men don't want to marry the woman that he sleeps with. Biblically, that's his wife, right? I don't think the women are upset that men don't want to get married like they used to. It's that they can't get men to want to give them their money. Because they could keep the marriage as long as they get the money. But am I wrong? What do you guys think?
A lot of men should probably share this with the women in their lives. But then again, they might not because they just want peace.
Not encourage any man to try to be in a relationship with a woman to where he's not solidified on his own first. It was no reason why the young man that I was dealing with at the time should have moved out on his own with a woman where he did not have certain things in alignment and in order, right? You need to have your finances together as a man. You need to have your foundation set for yourself as a man. You need to be building upon your purpose as a man. Like, you need to focus on you first. This is why I'm a strong advocate for men putting themselves first, because when you put yourself first as a man, everything else is going to follow suit. Had that young man put himself first and say, you know what? Let me go ahead, let me establish this, and then I can, have a strong foundation to build upon, with anybody else. But
one of the smartest ways to put it is that the internet has pulled relationships out of the home. Simple as that.
And I understand why a lot of guys want to quit. They say it's not worth it anymore. They say they'd rather just give up. Because sure, the current terms and conditions of modern dating are bizarre, to say the least. They suck. They definitely do. But if you ever want to make a change, you got to get really good at the game you're playing. You can't give up. You can't sit out. That's not the way it works. You got to rise to the top of the game. And once you're at the top, you can make changes. You can choose to sit it out, but I think you should try to compete at a high level. I think that's always the best way to go. But yeah, I understand why a lot of guys want to sit it out. It shouldn't have to be that way. When you're young and you're 18 years old and you just want to have a girl to love, get married, start a family with, live in your small apartment while you're both working, grinding it out, you and her, broke as a joke, madly in love, you get married, she gets pregnant, you bust your ass, you get a promotion, you buy a house, the American dream. That's what people want, but that's not the current landscape for most people. A good 90% of people aren't following that blueprint. So it's hard work, it's tough. It's not something that you can have a warm feeling about. It doesn't give you a wholesome, good feeling, the modern dating game. It's corrupt, it's evil, too many games.
At this point, an apology means nothing, and it says a lot when a man has become so distant that he doesn't even need words to reject you. His attitude says it all.
Men saying, I've just decided altogether to avoid women, that it's better to be single, guys. They're almost like happy about the fact that they're gonna make the choice to avoid the entire gender of women because they have yet to actually resolve the war they have within themselves.
The real issue isn't internal. It seems like modern women are in constant competition with one another, which affects relationships with good men.
That is why women are single.
Why do you keep talking to money when you talk tradition?
Because I'm telling you that's how I am as a woman. So if I'm with a man, I'd rather be at home with the children, taking care of the home.
Can you give me another example?
You're outside.
Okay. Can you give me another example of tradition that is not based around finance?
That's tradition. The woman role and the man role. The man is the provider. The woman is the
but it's not always
the one that cares for the home.
But it's not always based around finance. There's some traditional things.
I'm taking care of the children. I'm taking care of the house. That has nothing to do with finance.
So you don't believe that in today's world that you can maintain doing both?
I think that's unfair to the woman
You're already doing it.
Correct. But if I have a man in my life,
So that absolves you of everything
and
you've been
that is
doing?
why women are single,
Wait.
because it's like they rather do it by themselves, just like a man rather do it by himself.
The message that you're putting out there is that this is tradition. This is how it should go. And no, how it should go is me and you come together as two independent people
Correct.
and we figure out how to make this house work.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of people who would say, hey, you know what? You want to be a Fortune 500.
that is still more tradition. Like, that is a more traditional. If you go back, that's how it was. Women didn't have rights. Women couldn't work. Women couldn't do
But
shit.
you got 'em
Just
today.
Stay home.
No, but
That's what I mean when I say tradition, guys. Like, I mean, like, I'm talking about old age. I would have been better off in the old days, guys. Like, for real. Like, I would have been better off in the old days because I would have been a great mom at home, cooking, cleaning, and that's it. I would have been
Ooh.
good. Like, I would have been good, for
She
real.
threw me off.
That
Like,
gives-
I'm being honest. Like, I'm not for this time. Like,
Where's my camera again? Where's this one? This one. Fellas, like the fellas need to hear this. Fellas, I want you to know, and this is me. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. I want you to know. There are women out there that want to build with you, not build with tradition. I'm not speaking against her because what is good for her, what's good for you works for you. I want you to know that. I'm telling you, my brothers, who are now growing in this era where that is becoming a thing, and it sounds, what she's saying is, I don't think she's saying that she would not fall in love with the person, but the message could come across as that. I want you to know that there are women out there that will not put that standard on you and will actually take the time to get to know you and grow with you. And that has been my issue in trying to date. And having to decipher between the women who want that, who also want to take the time to get to know me before they even decide if they want to actually be with me.
We're living in a different era now. With rent constantly increasing, it takes both people contributing, not one person handling everything alone.
Hi, I'm in a shitty mood because I'm a 30-year-old trying to date and it's just painful. Did you eat something? Fucker. I'm feeling rather annoyed right now, and whenever I feel annoyed, I feel like I need to pop off on something, and that something is usually TikTok. So I feel like when it comes to dating, I've been very chill and calm when it comes to my old set of standards that I held for myself. I'm like, okay, I need what the fuck? I need really high standards. I have high standards, and I do. But I feel like with dating, I've kind of realized to calm down a little bit in certain areas where I've been so high and mighty and tight with certain things that you need to have. And I've been relaxed on that, and I'm still just not seeing or feeling how I feel like I'm supposed to be feeling. And it's just kind of upsetting because I'm okay, not that I'm lowering my standards. I just feel like I'm opening up a little bit more and growing up, realizing that maybe certain things that I used to think were negatives are actually positives, and I don't know how to navigate it. I'm in this weird limbo of trying to grow, trying to learn, and you know when you make excuses for someone in your head and then you kind of calm yourself down and then you're like, do I need to be making those excuses? I'm just feeling defeated because it's really hard to start over time and time again. And again, when open yourself emotionally up to dating, I don't know.
Weren't independent women supposed to have their own money? Now it seems like many are upset that men are stepping back and no longer playing along.
I don't care what anyone says, and we can argue in the comments, but dating right now in 2024 is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my entire life. I could probably pass the bar exam right now, and it'll be easier than dating. And I'm so serious. Now, I'm not saying that everything in life has to be easy, because it shouldn't, right? That's life. Things are going to be hard. Things are going to be tough, but it shouldn't be this hard. Dating shouldn't be this hard. It just shouldn't be. And the fact that majority of us single people are all experiencing this hardship leads me to believe that something isn't right. There's something, it's just something that's off. I don't know what it is, but it shouldn't be this hard. And the fact that it is this hard and other people are complaining about it and struggling with it leads me to believe it can't be us. It has to be the thing. So the dating needs to change. Something about the dating has to change, because it just can't be it. I can't keep living like this. And I don't want to quit. But ooh, I'm so close. I'm this close to giving up. Do y'all see That's how close I am to giving up. I'm finna throw the towel in for real.
What boyfriend? Is he really your boyfriend, or does it feel like you're forcing something that isn't there?
Woo! Some of y'all women gonna get mad at me today, so if you can't take constructive criticism, baby, keep on scrolling. Many of you women are not really what you think you're cracked up to be. Like, some of y'all are really not great people to be in relationships with. Y'all know I work with couples every single day, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a list of everything that I have to work through. First things first, quit coming into relationships trying to make a man secure your insecurities. That's your job. If you lack confidence, if you have low self-esteem, if there's still trauma that you're operating in, if you're self-critical, if you're judgmental when it comes to yourself, if you blame yourself, if you're still operating in guilt and trauma and everything else, baby, that's for you to handle, not him. Respect his space. Like, stop becoming so preoccupied and hyper aware of what a man has going on. As soon as you see his mood is off a little bit, you start becoming overwhelming. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Let me tell you how men are. A lot of men, when they are going through stuff, they may end up withdrawing or retreating because they're trying to figure it out. They're not always upset at you. Their moods are not changing just because of you. People go through things in a way that men are. They don't express themselves as much as we do as women. It's okay. Give that man some space. Oh yeah, the clinginess. Clinginess is cute to an extent, baby, but once you become codependent and you're always getting jealous whenever this person goes out, and you become anxious whenever they're not around you, you start blowing up their phones or they go hang out with their friends, that is problematic, and you're gonna push them away. As much as many of you all don't want to believe it, it's absolutely okay for a man to admire another woman. As long as it is a quick look, boom, and he's not staring, and he doesn't have a wandering eye, and he's not impulsive, and he's not a cheater. If he's all of those, baby, why are you with him in the first place? You're ignoring the red flags. You're settling. As long as that man is not window shopping or ordering off the menu, relax. He has a visual appetite. If he sees a beautiful woman, it's okay to admire. Just like if you see a handsome man, you're going to admire him too. Relax. Stop letting yourself go. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you need to stop doing everything that you did in the beginning. If you always kept your skin together, your nails together, your lashes together, your hair done, your body was waxed up at the beginning, keep that same energy. Hold your end of the relationship. Remember, visual. A man still has a visual appetite, and he loves what he sees, baby, because you're going to stimulate a whole lot more in him. Don't let yourself go because you secured the relationship. As much as you want to believe it, you're not always right. As much as you want to always be in control, you have to let some things go, baby. You cannot love a man the way you want to love him. If you study him, if you pay attention, if you actually listen, I guarantee you he would tell you how to love him. You cannot limit the way you love him to a love language. That's why I hate the conversation of love language. You can ask a man, what's your favorite love language? And he can say, oh, acts of service. And you think that's all you have to do to love him? No, baby, you got to study your man. Stop nagging him all the time. It's perfect. Okay, quit always expressing your dissatisfactions. If you see he's putting in efforts in other places, please uplift those efforts. Acknowledge him. Show that you appreciate that. If it's something like a pet peeve, baby, compromise. I know a lot of women have a hard time compromising. Baby, you got to find a middle ground. Sometimes it's just not worth you bringing up a dissatisfaction. A lot of you all just be nagging. You're pushing that man away. It's okay. He's not always going to fit your idea. He's not always going to satisfy you in every area. Baby, I promise you, every trait that you may have on your beautiful checkoff list, he may not measure up to every single one of them. That's why you have to be selective. But stop nagging all the time. You can't read minds and you can't predict the future. So stop trying to interpret things and stop trying to jump to conclusions. Baby, it's not healthy. It's a distorted way of thinking, and it will kill your relationship. Being independent is okay, but why do you have to be so independent that you're unreceptive? Men love to be needed. If you're so independent that you won't even allow him to help, what is he there for? Stop involving everybody in your relationship. I don't care if it's friends or family. They have no place to be in your relationship. So stop involving them. Their opinions do not matter. Their advice does not matter. They are not the person that you were sleeping with. Relax. You think you're doing something when you're comparing your man to everybody else. You're comparing your man to your best friend's husband, yada, yada, yada. And now he's pretending to be something that he's not. That's very uncomfortable for a man. Baby, constructive criticism and destructive criticism are real things. If you're always criticizing, you're going to push him away, and he's going to end up faking things, and that's going to make him unhappy, and then the intimacy is going to decline. And whose fault is that going to be? Yeah, because you were comparing. Many of you ladies are not the inspiration that you think that you are. I'm sorry to break it to you. If you're always operating in your comfort zone and you refuse to take risks and you lack intellectual intimacy, you don't go out there and try to learn new things, baby, you're not reaching new opportunities, you're always low in your confidence, you're not really inspiring this person. If this person is trying to grow, and you want to stay and you want to be on social media or on your phone and everybody else's business, and you're not really doing anything to add to his fruition, baby, eventually he's going to grow without you. Pessimism. Stop being negative all the time. Communication. Learn to listen. Validate their experiences. Don't interrupt. You know what? The list can go on. Just work on your communication, baby, okay? Now, I know some of y'all gonna get to the end of this video and be like, Look, if you want a healthier relationship, start taking criticism. Take each piece if it applies and let it apply. If it doesn't, then go on about your business. But if you want a healthier relationship, if you're dating, if you're a girlfriend, if you're a wife, whatever it may be, you want a healthy relationship, baby, take the criticism as constructive. Take it as a learning tool. Use it and change.
She says dating is difficult, but then goes on to outline all the reasons it ends up that way. You see this a lot.
I think I owe the men of the world an apology. Let me explain before you come in my comments. I always think to myself, why don't men just approach women? Why? It's not that hard. Just say hi. Just say hi. Your hair is pretty. It's not that hard, right? Well, last night I learned it is hard, okay? And let me tell you what happened. So I'm just sitting at the bar with my buddies, just having a fun time, and in walks some men who were attractive. One in particular, I was like, wow, he's very handsome. So I'm chatting with my friends who are all male in this conversation. I'm like, what do I do? Because I don't really approach men ever, but I also don't ever get approached. So anyway, I'm thinking to myself, how bad could it be? So they suggest I send him a drink. And I'm like, brilliant. Oh my gosh, I've never done that before. That's so smart. So I send him his drink of choice, which was a Corona with lime. Whatever, should have known. Anyway, so some time goes by, and he has not acknowledged that I've sent this drink. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just go over there. I walk up and I say, hey, how's your beer? You know, I like bat my eyelashes, you know? And he looks at me and he goes, oh, you sent this? Yeah, I did. It was me. And then he said nothing. 0 words exchanged. And you know that gif of Britney Spears where she's like holding her purse and she's just standing there looking around like this? That was me in real life. And we just stared at each other. And I said, okay, enjoy your night. And then I had to turn around and march my way back to my little bar stool, just wrapped in rejection. And now I have to think about that for the rest of my life. So, gentlemen, I'm sorry. That sucked.
It's better to be alone than regret being with someone. Looking back, Kevin Samuels was ahead of the curve highlighting these issues. Subscribe to Alpha Intent and let us know if you enjoy our content, or share your story so we can keep our alpha males aware and informed.